how you do development. I mean, there's an expectation of Blackout game modes getting evolved, right? If I change Search and Destroy right now in multiplayer, I'd be strung up in the court of public opinion even more than usual.
Even more than usual there.
Right? So, you know, we got tweeted about it. Of course, we tweeted about everything. And I mean everything.
Hey everybody at the Schwantz27's channel, it's DJ Vaughn on the Wicca Ones and Twos, here to talk to you about our latest update to Black Ops 4 that finally brings the Zombies mode up to the standard of multiplayer in Blackout for the Operation Grand Heist with some actual content. For people that decided to buy into the anachronistic in 2019 Black Ops Pass in order to fund the lease payment on my third Vondergini, the final Zombies experience called Ancient Evil is now live for the crew that you don't actually want to play with, but since we paid these actors money in order to get the motion captured and voice lines recorded, we needed to milk it almost as much as Activision does to the Call of Duty franchise as a whole. Basically, we made another generic underground ruined looking area while taking the zombie skeletons idea from Zombie Army Trilogy, made the boss Goro from Mortal Kombat 11, because that game has a lot of hype around it at the moment to ride coattails, and since we're in ancient Greece, why not throw a random Pegasus into the mix? In addition to the plethora of bug fixes for zombies maps, because clearly the team wasn't ready for the 1 month too soon, more like 4 months too soon launch, we also added a new perk called Zombshell. Get it? It's like zombie and bombshell. Anyway, it gives zombies a chance to explode, leaving a goo behind like the Division 2's riot foam that will slow the ones around them and allows increased damage done to those still stuck in the mud, kind of like a metaphor for Call of Duty as a whole. We also added new elixirs and talismans to further complicate the game mode that is really just running around in circles for hours on end at just out of arm's reach. Oh, and those new beepity bops I just mentioned are for PS4 only, since both Sony and Activision are spelt with $signs. Now that Ancient Evil's launch is out of the way, we could try to provide the Zombies factions functionality that we talked about on Reveal, but still haven't found their way into the game. They are, however, in the coming soon black hole for the next operation.
Glowing, and here we go. You do the word.
Oh, this
Phylactery.
word. Phylactery.
Phylactery.
I'm phylactating at the moment.
Please don't be like us and be illiterate. Work out what that word means.
Now going from the game mode I had nothing to do with zombies to the game mode that I also have nothing to do with this time around, but did enough damage with the past 3 for the team to send me away. There are lots of updates to the multiplayer mode. No, we're not going to bring in the VSAT, but we did cave on our stance on specialists, making our game more like Overwatch than Call of Duty. A bare bones playlist, of course, on the PS4 first, because exclusivity is now for game modes too, and not just for new content, is a specialist weapon and equipment, gear, and operator mod free playlist that's a quote chaotic 6v6 with TDM and domination in the mix. We tried to tug on those nostalgia strings with the description to recreate Black Ops 2 back in the glory days of Call of Duty before RNG boxes were a thing, yet we kept the 150 health in core and 27 health in hardcore because we were way too lazy to make it 130 again, necessitating a huge rebalance of all of the weapons, so we just solved one problem while further exposing a different one. One step forward, one step backwards. On the subject of weapon tweaking, we took a look at our big black box of data and found that SMGs were still pretty much useless, so we buffed the sprint out recovery speed for the SOG, MX9, and Cordite, as well as a range increase in the last case. Also a range increase was done to buff both the Damon 3 XP and Spitfire, as well as the supply stream only tier 100 carrot grind Switchblade X9 got a magazine buff from 26 to 30 and an additional reserve mag, so now people that gave us money on day 1 to unlock something that should be given away for free for Black Ops Pass owners or earned via a challenge can actually kill something with that gun. We weren't done with range increases, as the KN57 also got a buff for both 4 and 5 kill shot distances and a buff to the 4-hit kill range for the ABR-223 combined with increased ammo from 30 to 36 and faster ADS speed for the tactical rifle. Oh, and since this is a Treyarch game after all, we buffed all of the pistols due to the mental gymnastics we do to convince ourselves that all things worth a point should have the same impact, in spite of the obvious that an attachment isn't anywhere near as useful as a rocket launcher that takes down away any of the fun, I mean score streaks.
And the sniper community, like, we go way back. I mean, like snipers in Call of Duty.
Because I am still to this day making up for the seemingly death threat worthy DSR 50 nerf in Black Ops 2. We've buffed snipers yet again. That's the 4th time we've buffed them in Black Ops 4 without a nerf. An SDM fire rate increase for people that spam, like the VSAT comments in our live streams, and the Paladin got an extra bullet but an increased reload time so the no flinch gang can get some more of those Pac-Man nom 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 feeds. Another community that we love, the Knifers, got a buff for the literal bag of money, and Secret Santa melee weapon range adjusted to match the combat knife, since they're all just cosmetic only, right? That's what I keep telling myself to justify putting weapons behind a grinder paywall. Unfortunately for that community, there are no updates to reactive camos on melee weapons. However, for all other weapons, you'll be able to apply those flashing things to play dress up with in an FPS to any gun, dropping the gold unlock requirement due to our theory of making the game easier and accessible for everybody, just like the specialist abilities on a cooldown being better than actual score streaks. However, a different community that's been dead with the advent of the new generation console that take the social aspect of gaming completely out of the picture in an already antisocial means of entertainment, we've also made griefing and trolling preventative measures in both hardcore and league play to employ a ricochet for friendly fire at the start of rounds and a 3 strikes and you're dead policy, which is the best compromise from the kick or self-damage solution to team killing. While we're on the subject of teammates, we've reduced friendly player collision so that you're not accidentally pushed away like I was in school. Also in the coming soon Black Hole, even though we promised it way back in October of 2018, being only, quote, a week away, are leaderboards and combat records. Although they're difficult since math isn't our strong suit here at Treyarch, and we want to keep the actual number of people playing our game under lock and key as to not be publicly embarrassed by how few people are actually playing it, so we've come up with the current solution of fucking over the API for third-party statistic websites while we obfuscate how well you're doing, even more so than our scoreboard already does, that despite having more information on it is actually less helpful than ever.
There's a really, really cool thing about to happen for every hot dropper on the planet. Wink. Wink. That's how I wink. You like that?
There you go.
Just go ahead.
There you go.
Just leave now.
Now on to the only mode that the studio actually gives a shit about, Blackout. We added in the EMP grenade to take care of those pesky set and forget items, and even prevents your slow ass from getting run over by the vehicle meta with disabling engines. With Outrider now available on all platforms, we added her Sparrow as a weapon in supply drops. Shit, I'm not supposed to use that phrase. Supply stashes. Our most recently added specialist weapon, the Purifier, also got a nerf because one-shot area of effect weapons in a battle royale game whose most famous phrase is dink and not the victory slogan is a huge problem. There are also changes done to the collapse now that everybody is raving about how cool it is in Firestorm to make it hurt more when you're outside of the circle, kind of like how clicks make you feel in real life, because heal-offs to end the match are even more boring than the game mode itself. We've also reduced the number of players required to auto-start matches on PC from 100 down to 80 because it's a ghost town there, and I'm not just talking about the name location on the map. Literally, nobody is playing it, and this way Blackout matches might actually spin up every once in a while. Thanks, region splitting on Battle.net. Lastly, we've added a new unlockable character skin for Blackout with everybody's favorite marketing gimmick, the Replacer. Oh, and instead of having you play like an absolute douche canoe for a round to try and unlock the skin for free, we're putting it behind a $10 paywall in a 1,000 COD points bundle to grind plus a swordfish skin. You want more weapons for multiplayer, you say? Glad you asked. The previously data mined demo hammer that I called on livestream is actually called the Homewrecker in-game, and it's in a triple play bundle. Oh, and unlike in our previous game, Black Ops 3, where you just had to activate the free triple play contract to complete the bundle, this one costs 2,800 COD points, or roughly $28 for a carrot to dangle. I guess when a microtransaction costs almost as much as the full game does on Amazon, is it really a microtransaction, or can we just call it a macro transaction at this point? Oh, and no, did you Black Ops Pass owners really think that you'd be entitled to getting it for free? Come on now, this is Activision that we're talking about after all, and Operation Grand Heist, which is aptly named, is really living up to it now, whereby things that were either earnable for free in the case of Blackout characters or a triple play contract are now for sale because fiscal year 2018 wasn't a good one for the company in spite of record revenue. While someone tries to figure that logic out, that isn't Michael Condrey throwing shade because he's failed upwards out of the company, I'm just going to try and figure out what I actually want during this sale, because apparently everything that isn't tied down is being sold off if there are fuck trumpets out there that will actually pay for it. Oh man, here we go again. Yet another update that's filled with decent stuff, marred by the monetization greed.
Got a new melee weapon in the mix.
Oh, yeah. Is that the demo hammer you're talking about?
Back to the demo hammer?
Back to the demo hammer. But like all melee weapons, it sort of works the same way you'd expect. It's not more powerful or less powerful than any other melee weapon, but it's gorgeous and fun to swing around at people. You know, so maybe if I hit this thing hard enough, it'll blow and take me with it, right? That'd be cool.